Mike Tyson often exudes an air of unquestionable toughness when he enters the spotlight. Many people still remember Mike Tyson as the vicious boxer who commanded the boxing world with an iron grip. But now, even when it's not justified, Tyson's harsh demeanor seems to be a permanent fixture. Tyson's reputation and personal limits are being put to the test like never before because of the recent events with Jake Paul. The story of Tyson and Jake Paul has not been typical at all. The build-up to their scheduled bout was supposed to be the pinnacle of Paul's boxing career so far, a battle between a boxing great and a social media star. But instead of a polite build-up, we've seen an insensitive and egotistical train wreck. When Jake Paul made remarks about people's families and themselves, a boundary that is never, if ever, breached in the boxing world, Tyson's annoyance reached a breaking point. The notoriously controversial and sometimes outrageous Jake Paul elevated trash talking to a whole new level. What started off as standard pre-fight hoopla swiftly turned into a litany of insulting and very personal jabs. Paul spoke offensive and very nasty things about Tyson's family and, more importantly, his health. Tyson chose to leave the fight because of this sort of behavior, not wanting to take part in what he considers to be a farce. For Tyson, Paul's remarks about his late daughter Exodus were the most offensive. Exodus Tyson unfortunately lost his life in 2009 after an odd treadmill accident.
The biggest beatdown you've ever had, whether it be physically or emotionally or
I
spiritually?
lost my 4-year-old daughter. She accidentally killed herself by accident.
Oh, man.
She on a treadmill. She didn't know how to work it and she had hurt.
Wow.
So after that, I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do.
How'd you recover from that?
And I haven't. I just know in order to make her happy, I have to do good things and be positive.
Yeah.
For Tyson and his family, this type of tragedy is an open wound. Thus, Jake Paul's choice to exploit it as material for derogatory remarks is unacceptable. It was more than just simply stepping over the cue. Rather, it was like doing it carelessly. The boxing world was excited about the bout, which was set to take place at the AT&T Arena on November 15th, 2024. Tickets were selling like hotcakes, betting odds were being established, and fans were counting down the days with great anticipation. It had all the ingredients for a legendary fight that people would talk about for years to come, but all of it seems like a faraway dream right now. The decision by Tyson to call off the bout is a serious setback for both the sport and the occasion. The boxing community has been rocked by the cancellation. For Jake Paul, this was more than simply a battle. It was a chance to establish himself on one of the greatest platforms available. The intensity of the build-up to this battle had grown tremendously, and now that it's over, Paul finds himself in a huge vacuum. This is not just a financial loss. His reputation and credibility have taken a serious damage. Paul's strategy for marketing bouts has often been marked by criticism. Whether it's via elaborate feuds or controversial remarks, it appears like his whole career has been based upon creating controversy. Although this tactic has brought him a lot of publicity, it has also made him a contentious figure in the boxing community. While some spectators find pleasure in the spectacle he produces, many others believe it compromises the purity of the sport. The fire has only been fueled by recent events. After deciding not to continue the fight, Tyson has made his choice known. He has made it plain in remarks and interviews that he would not put up with disrespect, particularly when it affects his family. Tyson's decision to withdraw from the contest has spurred a wider discussion about boxing's code of conduct, respect, and the extent athletes and promoters should go to uphold decency. The future of Jake Paul's boxing career has also been discussed. Now that this big showdown has been called off, Paul will need to reconsider his approach. Will he stick to his present strategy, or stand back and think of a more tactful and gentlemanly way to publicize his fights? The response to that query will be critical to his future professional success. Apart from the consequences arising from this rivalry, there are wider ramifications for the boxing industry. Tyson's decision to forego what he views as a demeaning show serves as a reminder of the principles that have long been associated with the sport and its rich history. Although there have always been colorful individuals and dramatic events in boxing, the sport's fundamental values are honor, discipline, and respect. Tyson's actions could establish a standard for future treatment of insults and personal assaults. We could see a change in the way that fight promotion is done, one that is more courteous and values honesty if other athletes and promoters take notice of Tyson's answer. This may be a good development for the sport, helping to reclaim some of the honor that has perhaps faded in the last several years. Both fans and experts have been talking about the controversy between Tyson and Paul. While it works to attract attention, others contend that Jake Paul's strategy calls into question the validity of his boxing endeavors. Others think that rather than the pre-fight antics, the emphasis should be on the ability and athleticism needed to compete in the ring. Regarding Tyson, his choice to call off the bout makes a strong signal. It serves as a reminder that there are still boundaries that should not be violated, even in this day of show and sensationalism. Although Tyson's career as a boxer is already well established, his behavior in this case further solidifies his reputation as a man who respects decency and respect. It is now up to the boxing community to handle the consequences of this circumstance. Many are left wondering what's next for both boxers, as fans who were excitedly awaiting the Tyson vs. Paul bout are disappointed. Will Tyson look for a high-profile battle to take the place of the postponed fight? Will Jake Paul be able to find a new opponent that can live up to the anticipation and emotion surrounding his bout with Tyson? One thing is certain as this tale progresses. The boxing world has been profoundly impacted by the drama between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. It serves as a sobering reminder of the influence that deeds and words may have on the sport as a whole as well as on individual careers. Therefore, it is worthwhile to think about the wider consequences for boxing as we evaluate the aftermath from this rivalry. What does this signify for the promotion of fights going forward? What impact will this have on the interactions between fans, promoters, and fighters? Most importantly, how can we use this experience to make sure that integrity and respect are always at the forefront of the sport? Please feel free to comment on Tyson's choice to end the bout and Jake Paul's remarks. Do you think the decision was the correct one, or do you think there was a better course of action? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and remember to check back for additional updates. Peace out till we speak again.